Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time.
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. So many things are moving and shaking, and I know we have so many good things to get into, right? There's lots of positive things out there.
So many good things. Should we start with some housekeeping?
Housekeeping for sure. So we're super excited. You know, we've been talking a lot about extracting ourselves from our old financial systems for a long time, really since the beginning. And so we're going to take the jump here and the lead. And we, Two Women in Crypto, myself individually, and Andrea, we're just going to start accepting USDC for our payments for our classes and memberships and things of that nature. So those that are Two Women in Crypto members know that we'll be in touch about that. But yeah, we're going to kind of extract ourselves from the banking system. And we bring this up because it's in direct correlation, number one, because we have a brand new class that Andrea is going to be teaching on the 21st, which is next Saturday, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Is that next Saturday? Yeah. At 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's on the ISO 222 tokens, and it's $45. So we'll get all the details. It'll be launched on our website when you hear this podcast, but we're going to be taking payment in USDC, and we'll work with you. If you're not sure how this looks or what the process will be, then it's going to be part of your learning curve. And it's going to be a little scratchy for us to go through this process too. But we feel it's really important to lead the way. And so I'm excited about that. It feels really good.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because, Kelly and I have just been talking so much about, what do we teach? Be your own bank, become your own bank.
Yep.
Two Women in Crypto, we're becoming our own bank.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
it's time. Yep. So,
and learning curves for everybody. So it's going to be a little scratchy, and you're going to be like, wow, this is different. It's going to take a few extra steps, but that's okay. It's perfect. So super excited about that. I'm really excited about the class too. Thank you for putting that together. And that'll be a really pivotal class for anybody who's listening to really tune into, because we hope to see you in the space, because the ISO 222 conceptually is, or not just conceptually, has been and will be such a huge part of what our future looks like. So
no, it's such a good point. I mean, our whole financial system is changing. So we'll be going over XRP, XLM, Cardano, Hedera, Algorand, Quant, just so many different things on a much deeper level, and bring it all together, because, we're entering into a digital economy. We're not going back. We're moving forward. And I know it takes time. But yeah, come and join us. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to put up a really quick link here since we're on that subject, but it is the 21st, $45 USD. All the details will be under that tab. And like I said, we'll walk you through the process. So we hope you join us. We're super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, I was thinking too, I checked this morning, inflation numbers went down for CPI, which is so interesting because it's a headline inflation number, right? So food, energy is going through the roof. It doesn't matter because they just base everything on like a headline CPI. But I was thinking about this because I've been getting a lot of calls from clients and doing a lot of meetings. And it's like, how much Bitcoin, how much Ethereum, like how much crypto and gold and silver can you own? And what about buying some land? And when I looked at the CPI numbers and I see that housing is still high, that is going to be the next sector that is going to lower. So when we go and buy land and buy a house, we need things notarized, right, Kelly?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely.
So no matter where you live, you can reach out to Markley Mobile and get an online virtual notary.
Yeah.
And Jeannie is wonderful. It's such an easy process. It's just so good. And the other thing that I was thinking too is like when I see that the FAA had to shut down all the flights yesterday morning because of a software issue, maybe,
Oh, yeah. Well, I just go, uh-huh. Yeah.
we really want to reach out to Computer Diva and clean up our computers, right?
Absolutely.
You like
Absolutely.
how I wrote that in?
Yeah, it was awesome. Such great segues. And you'll see below here, those of you that are watching this video on YouTube and or Rumble, you'll see that we have their information on the screen. Computerdiva.biz and markleymobile.com. Both are led women-owned businesses that are extraordinarily pivotal in their communities and far beyond. So we really encourage you to lean into that. And I apologize if you hear my dog lapping up water. He's a very noisy drinker. But with that said, yeah, really, really important and on both services. And I have a family member that's getting ready to go through a home purchase right now, and they're seeking out a bank because that's, the framework within which it is a small community, but they would much rather prefer. So I sent their information last night actually over for
Awesome. That's great. That's great. I mean, just some brilliant women, that are part of Two Women in Crypto. And, just shout out to you use Markley Mobile. She is the lead female voice of the hodlers. I'm just saying,
Absolutely.
maybe she'll do a little jingle for you.
Yeah. Ask her to sing you a ditty.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Because, blockchain is the future of finance. And Kelly and I have been trying to tell you.
Absolutely.
So we have the World Economic Forum. The Davos meeting starts 4 days.
I'm really looking forward to this because what I'm looking forward to about it is because they speak in so many riddles, is what will they really reveal to us? And then I'm looking forward to all the people that I follow as they take it apart and dismantle it until, really kind of peel back the layers of the onion. It'll be an important meeting, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'll be watching it, and I'll do my best to put together, more shorts. I think trying to do little educational pieces that are longer than 30 seconds because, I'm big on not pushing brain injury on people, so
Yes, check out the YouTube channel. I mean, what you're seeing there is, really Andrea is the guts to all of this and is really so is Rogue apparently, and really wants to empower you with education. And through the lyrics of your songs and these little shorts, it's just enough to get your attention, right?
Yep. And we're just encouraging everybody, do some research, right?
Yeah.
So, when Kelly and I think about where we're headed and when times are bumpy and when we're in a recession, maybe even borderline depression, who knows? It doesn't matter. Eggs are $9, right? It's just, our electricity bills are going up. But when I look at what's going on, I really am when you look at the Great Depression back in the early 1900s, it's an opportunity for regular average people to become millionaires, to take the time out and to educate yourselves and to look into where we're moving to with some of these projects. It is absolutely fascinating, and it really gets me so super excited. And I'm sad at the same time because I know the average person's just going to work, watching Netflix, doing what they're doing. But at the same time, when I look at the news and I'm like, this great wealth transfer is going to encompass more than $70 trillion, you know, So what happens if we have like another event? What happens if something in the Federal Reserve Bank, breaks? With this Davos meeting, will there be a restructuring of the debt to push us into the fourth industrial revolution, into this digital economy? It's pretty cool.
Yep, it is cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging it. I'm definitely digging it. So, with all of the FUD and everything that's been like going on in the news, like I love that guy, Jim Cramer. Like, like if you want to, do you watch what he says?
When I traded futures and commodities, I would listen to him quite a lot, but he's just so full of crap to me.
No,
Sorry.
he's so full of crap, but it's like you could do the opposite.
Oh,
He's like, sell,
absolutely.
sell, sell, sell all your crypto. And it's like,
And he's buying. I'll guarantee you he's buying on the side.
absolutely. Absolutely. I heard him say that he paid off his house with Bitcoin back in the day when we were
Yeah.
like, in the bull cycle. And, and it's just important to note, you can't trust what anyone says. You need to verify.
Right.
So it's verify, don't trust. And, that's kind of like what the blockchain is all about.
Well, absolutely. And to that, I mean, they're telling you not to get involved in the fear. I mean, they're pushing their agenda, and that is to be really fearful of stepping into it. And we are on the other end of that pendulum saying, don't be afraid, put your toe in the pond, and this is the right time. But yeah.
Yeah, because when I look at JP Morgan, and, and I know I mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. So JP Morgan copied Ethereum's blockchain and made it centralized,
Right.
permissioned. So when I think about all of the banksters, right, they're not going to give up their power and they're not going to give up their control. So what I'm seeing and witnessing, which has been my theory all along, is the merging of centralized finance to decentralized finance. And JP Morgan's centralized version of Ethereum is called Onyx. And
Mm-hmm.
they did their first trade, using Aave on Polygon's blockchain, which is, all wrapped with around Ethereum. And the more research that I do about Polygon, the token's Matic, okay, it's like it's going to be like kind of like the backbone, right? Because it allows Ethereum to scale. So same thing, even if it's centralized on Onyx, it's going to help with the scalability issues for JP Morgan.
Right.
Okay. And Aave is the borrowing platform for Ethereum. It's permissioned, so it's kind of like you can float around, in this DeFi world, but you're still going to have those choke points on the way out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're continuous, I look, I'm on it every week. I have a couple of ideas. I think I'll share some solutions maybe next week on the podcast. I made a little note. But again, we're going to hope and pray that it's not going to go like complete dystopian, right? Because if it does, what are we going to do? But like, there's ways around it. And I do believe CeFi, DeFi merge. CeFi is going to continuously fail. People don't trust the system. And then we move into a decentralized financial system.
There you go. That would be sweet.
That would be super sweet. So, I think like we have to wait for people to really start researching and see the truth. But more and more people are. And like we always say every week, please start educating people. If everyone has all of their money in dollars, we see the egg shortages coming. Is this just the beginning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we really want to diversify some of our funds outside of the United States dollar.
And just speaking on eggs, how much are you paying for a carton of eggs in your neighborhood?
So I'm still getting them with my CSA, which is community supported agriculture. I encourage everybody to look into this. It's like nationwide. You're supporting your local farmers. So I'm getting eggs at $6 a dozen, but when I go to the store, they're $8. How much are they by you?
I haven't bought eggs in a while, but last time, I mean, if you go with, the white, big, like Lucerne or whatever, they're probably $3 for a big 12, probably a dozen, maybe the 18 pack, maybe 350 or something like that. So it isn't quite that. I mean, if you go with organic, I think it's like 550, maybe six.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
great.
far. But I haven't purchased eggs in a bit. So I'm not, I don't know if there's been an influx of price hikes.
Yeah, so reach out to us. You guys can always comment on our videos. Let us know, like, how much are eggs in your state? And this is something that, like, we can track. And if we're looking at shortages, is that going to make the price of eggs go up or down?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
we're
And
we're big egg eaters here.
And by the way, this is something we don't ever talk about. We should probably do it more often just so we can get in the Google algorithm things. Please like and subscribe. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I'm not good at this kind of stuff. I'm really not. I just show up where I'm supposed to be and everything else. But maybe I'll have to adjust that front thing that, we appreciate your support in that respect because we've had some videos that continue to get a lot of viewership thanks to Andrea and her pushing some things out there, but your help is also pivotal in letting other people know about this. So that's my little plug.
Yeah, and I just like the other day I was feeling so bullish, right? And I posted in our Two Women in Crypto like private like Telegram group. And it's like I just listened to the whole album by the Hodlers and it's all there, right? All the information is in these songs and what a fun way to get educated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's just keep pushing on. I'm looking at the world, it's changing. We got the Fed now payments is going to go live this year. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Cross-border payments are changing, right? And this is all part of that ISO 20022 switch, with the Swift system, our banking systems are changing. Just everything is going digital and everything is going to the blockchain. So I was listening to a video by Larry Fink. He's the CEO of BlackRock. And he says, like, most crypto is going to go to zero. But then he goes right into talking about decentralized finance. I released the video with Rosie Rios, the 43rd treasurer of the United States, you know, and she was like, the train has left the station.
Yeah.
Okay, cryptocurrency is the next wealth disruptor for the masses. So when I think about what she's saying and I sit with what does that mean? This is like one of the greatest wealth disruptors. So why not diversify into some of these other coins that are going to be a part of the wealth disruption? Because when I think about cryptocurrency, I think about technology. And it would make sense, right? My whole background, not my whole background, but for over 20 years, I've been doing, IT, information technology. I understand all these different platforms. So it's all code, so we're moving into like a digitized, tokenized economy that's going to be leveraged on technology. You pick a couple of the right technologies and you're set.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we often refer to as that .com era.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And things are changing. Like I was reading this really interesting article about GPT, which is
Mm,
that new automated app. And I started thinking, Kel, are we going to Google anymore? Just Google it. Now, with Microsoft putting the bid to buy 49% of GPT. So when we ask a question, we're going to get an educated, articulate answer.
Yeah, it's really changing so fast. It's
And it's like, and when you think about the network effect that GPT is going to have, and you think about the network effects of Facebook and Amazon, I think about, well, what's going to be the network effect of Polkadot, Cosmos, Algorand, XRP Ledger? We see Ethereum. We saw that network effect, and that's what gives these systems value, right? Because the more use we use them, the more we create the internet of value.
yeah, it's wild.
Uh,
It's
it's it's wild, and I love it.
yeah. Yep.
All right, so what do we got next? All right, so I wanted to talk about Fidelity Digital Assets. They are looking to tokenize real estate. They're also looking to tokenize bonds and deposits. So when we think about money market funds, mutual funds, investments, derivatives, insurance, everything is going to be tokenized. There's this really good project called Project Guardian, and they're testing institutional permissioned, centralized. Whenever you see the word permissioned, that's centralized, but they're going to be testing like their liquidity pools. Liquidity just means money, right? To just break this down to simple terms. And they're going to be tokenizing bonds and deposits in Singapore. Okay, so the Monetary Authority of Singapore, otherwise known as MAS, is going to be participating in this. And eventually, these things will go live. And I get a lot of questions about decentralized finance is so risky. Decentralized finance is going to be hacked. And I kind of agree with that. It is risky. Some of these side chains do get hacked, but
Right.
it doesn't matter, right, Kel? They're not stopping.
Right.
Institutions and governments are moving to the blockchain. Avalanche is a great example.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk about that because there was a great news that came out for that yesterday for Avalanche.
Yeah, just yesterday, my cousin texted me and he was like, what just happened to Avalanche? So I jumped online and sure enough, like Avalanche partnered with Amazon Web Services, AWS, and they're bringing the blockchain to institutions and governments.
Yeah.
So you saw Avalanche's price spike up.
So AVAX holders out there, which I know quite a few, I mean, yay you for holding on. And even those that may just be leaning into that, I think it's trading at $15, or it was yesterday when I looked. And of course, it did have a great little pump, but we're having a pump a little bit across the board right now. But it's a great sign. I can't remember the all-time high of AVAX, but I think it was 115, maybe a little bit more than that.
Right?
Yeah.
AVAX is, like what Kelly said. So if AVAX is over $100 in the bull cycle, do we believe we're going to go back into another bull cycle?
Oh, absolutely. It's all universe. It's just a rhythm. It's all about a rhythm. It's
Yep.
all, this is great. Everything needs to be reset, and that's what's taking place.
Yep. And once these systems connect and once these systems scale, I mean, think about the news with Avalanche. It's just like, Amazon Web Services is working with Avalanche to bring the blockchain to governments and institutions. It's just like if this was in a bull market, Avalanche's price would have shot even more to the moon,
Right.
but this is a great time for us, a dollar cost average, and we accumulate because when the market is down, this is when we increase our wealth.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we're in agreement across the board, just to touch on the market being down within the next, by the end of March. I think, our bottom, I think we may have one more leg down. Who knows? We're not financial advisors, by the way. We're just having a conversation and you're joining us. This is great. Welcome. But I think, maybe another leg down, but this this is a great time to really take a look at what you want to start dollar cost averaging into.
Yep, absolutely. And the more research we do, because I had a couple folks reach out to me, with last week we talked about the Flare network and we talked
Right,
about, Songbird, and people were like, hey, where can I buy Flare? I was like, no, 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 just wait, right? Because we could see what happened, right? Flare was trading at 45 cents, right? So all the news was coming out about the airdrop.
right,
People have been holding and waiting for these Flare tokens for over 2 years. They want to take some money off the table.
exactly.
Flare crashes, not financial advice. Now's maybe a good time to get into Songbird and Flare, right? Flare
Yep,
went all the way down to 4 cents. It bottoms out, it finds its leverage. We're getting another airdrop in about 6 months. So when you buy the rumor and then you sell the news, right? So as soon as like the tokens go out, everyone takes profits, and it's the same cycle over and over. This isn't rocket science. It just takes some learning, and you don't even have to invest. Just learn what happens.
yeah.
Like today's a great example. CPI numbers, inflation went down. Are we in the green?
Oh, well, of course we are. Yeah, the market
Right.
responds. Sure.
So, is this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. So, when I look at the Federal Reserve and now inflation, we're at 6.5%. So they say, right? I mean, it's like, I'm worried
Um,
about hyperinflation, but like, that's just in food and energy. Like, everything else is fine. But when I look at the Fed and and they're saying we're going to keep increasing rates until interest rates hit 5%. So that'll be like April. So that's just a couple months away. And once they pause and once they don't raise interest rates, we should see a shift in the stock market and in cryptocurrency and go even further into the green. We'll see. We'll
well,
see.
and that'll be led by the Bitcoin dominance, right? And the altcoins will probably waver for quite a bit, but Bitcoin dominance will be the leader to the shifting in the market's trajectory.
Yep, and then Bitcoin pulls all the altcoins up. So,
Yeah,
we're going to be up and down, but that's why we just tell people like I'm not really big on trading, but I'm an investor, and I buy my tokens and I hold them, and then I'll sell some of them, right? So, I think like especially for people who are new, I think about what was going on with Gala,
hmm,
like Gala Games. Gala Games went up over 130% in 1 week.
right.
How long have we been talking about Gala? So, a good example for like, an experienced trader, you invest your money, something like that goes up 130%. Take your initial investment out, and then you're playing with house money.
Right.
Okay, that's like such a good tip. And don't ever invest more money than you can lose, right? Because no one needs to be nervous about doing this.
Well, and I think the other thing, it's a big difference, and we've talked about it early on, is you can hodl on, you may invest and it may look like you're going to be losing, it's just the ebb and flow. And you have to be mindful of, it's not like you're going to be on margin call. It's not like you're going to get,
Right.
closed out of a position. That's the difference about if you choose to get into cryptocurrencies, where other things you could be on margin call. You just have to be solid in what your investment thesis is. And if your investment thesis is that you see a project like an ISO 222 token, you just have to just put it in the closet, shut the door, and walk away. And don't check on it
Yeah.
that often, because it can create that fear trigger. Often will come up for people.
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about like how the prices of crypto, they go so high and then they crash 95 to 99%, and then they recover and then they go even higher in the next bull cycle. I mean, cryptocurrency is wild, and it's a brand new emerging technology,
Right.
that is the new internet. So
Yeah.
it's going to be unstable. There's going to be winners. There's going to be losers. There's good projects that are going to go to zero. But when I look at gaming and the metaverse and decentralized finance, like this is our new world, and we're just super early, super early. So of course I did not sell any of my Gala tokens. I am extremely bullish on this
Yes.
gaming platform. And I got to tell you, because I was following Sandbox, I owned Decentraland for a while, and I know I talked about that, and I sold it. I sold Decentraland, not a gamer. So I wanted to get into it because this is just so much fun. And we're not like betting the house on these things. It's interesting, right? To see
Sure.
the progression and where we're going. So the creator of Gala Games created Words with Friends, which is a very popular mobile
Mm-hmm.
app game. Also created Farmville.
Not familiar with that one.
So I actually played this game when I used to live in Asheville, North Carolina, because I love farms. Like I'm like, a city kid, like obsessed with like farms, even though I don't know how to do anything. Um, so I used to like tell my friends, like, do this, do that, so I can get all these things. And then, so when I look at this creator and then I see they're coming out with 15 new games, like we've talked about Grit, they're coming out with a game called Battlestar Galactica, which we all know. And
Although, no, yeah, for sure.
right, and they're updating or doing something with Townstar. I mean, there's so many different games, but it's not just games. They're going into films, movies on the blockchain. So imagine watching a movie online and being able to take your phone and you scan a QR code and you get an NFT.
Yeah, yeah.
And Gala just bought Ember Entertainment, which is bringing over 20 million users to the Gala Games platform.
Ember?
Ember.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. So I'm super bullish. Again, it's up 140% this week. We watch these things and I don't know, like it's one of those things when I see Axie Infinity, and again, even with Sandbox, I started following Sandbox at 2 cents, never bought it. So during bear cycles, people still play games. You know what I mean? So, and you can play to earn.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Right. So, it was funny too, because like Ro and I were going for a walk yesterday and we went on a really long walk with the dog. And I was like, we should really download that app and just earn the sweat token.
Well, and that's, I mean, to that point, if you look out into the world and where I'm at, I'm kind of back into the 3D world, there's a loss of people, and we've talked about this before. The younger generation isn't working the way we're accustomed to working because they're earning their monies in different ways, from gaming and all these other things. I mean, I don't want to be tokenized myself. I mean, but yeah, you could do that. Are you guys going to do that? Are you going to get your sweat token?
No.
But I mean, people are. I mean, but you know what? We looked at, where was that project? Phi?
Pie?
Pi. Did I say Phi? Pi. Yeah, Pi. Um, that was one of those things that you farm the tokens daily, right? Is that still?
Yeah, it's still a thing,
Yeah.
and that could be something big because it's going to be put on exchanges. I don't know if it was manipulated, but there was, other YouTubers, and I didn't verify, so I don't know if this is true or not, but like it was put on other exchanges and pulled off really quickly.
Yeah.
But on some exchanges it hit $20.
Yeah.
And I think on another exchange it hit a couple hundred. So it was created by professors at Stanford.
Yeah, and you can farm that daily.
Yep, and it's free. It's just giving them a little bit of your storage space on your phone, and you're being paid. And again, in the new economy, we are going to be paid for our attention. right?
Yep.
Because human beings are the product. Sounds a little creepy, but this is where we're at. So we will be paid for our data. It's the same thing when I think about the central bank digital currency, and I listened to that other guy, I did another like shorter video to be like, how are private companies going to make money on central bank digital currencies? Right? They're private public partnership. Well, they're going to be collecting your data, and that's how they're going to make money. Is that fair? Absolutely not. But this is what they're going to do, and this is what they say. And you could take 2 minutes and listen to that video. It's like bowling from the IMF, you know. So I just, it is what it is. And it's kind of, some of this stuff is just so cool. But, and the other thing is too, I don't even know how I came across. Did I send this to you, Kelly? It's a new thing called uh, fightout.com, and we'll have the link in the description. But you can work out and fight in the metaverse and earn the fight token. So they're paying you to work out.
And it's called fight out. So is it like going into a ring and doing that type of thing? Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know. And it looks so cool. And like for us, like we're in our 50s, we're not going to be doing this stuff, but kids will.
For sure.
And it's kind of like the sweat token. You move your body and you're getting paid. And I think that this, between that and universal basic income, when you think about the automation, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, what jobs are going to be left?
Interesting. So is this an ocular thing and you have to have sensors in your hand and you're like,
That I don't know, but I mean, you can definitely look. But like, what a great way to make some extra cash if you're into that, right?
yeah.
If you're into it, you know. Um, and the other thing I wanted to mention is like two things. So like the other thing is, so my sister-in-law sends me this article. She lives probably like an hour and a half north of Syracuse, New York. I know it's crazy, right? It's the tundra. Beautiful,
Right.
beautiful during the summer though. So they put in the Syracuse Hancock International Airport reverse ATMs. They're cashless. They went cashless. Syracuse International Airport went cashless. You have cash, you put it into the ATM, and they give you a debit card.
Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Isn't that? Huh. Hmm.
So we're moving towards a cashless society, and we see it more and more. And I think people that live in like big cities can really see this, right? I mean, you're in Portland. Do you see?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the publishing world over here, and of course, over the years, the newspaper boxes and things of that nature, of course, no longer accept coins because we don't have coins. We don't carry coins. So those newspaper boxes are just open for people to take their papers or what have you. But that's a really kind of a hard question for me to ask because even though I'm out there, I'm not a shopper.
I know.
So I don't shop. I shop if you look at my bank statement, it's groceries and that's it, and a lot of cash. But when I have had a lot of instances, I will say, when I have been in an environment to pay with cash where they don't accept cash. So especially farmers markets and things like that, they don't accept cash quite often, which I find which of course makes sense. They don't want to be sitting there with cash. I mean, I get it. So I can't really speak to that part. I see the automations happening, but since I'm not in the world actually utilizing it, it's hard for me to.
Yeah. But I see this transition, and I just think like any major cities, we're going to see more and more like automation and just cashless. Like they're going to facially recognize you if you live in San Francisco, if you live in New York City, and they'll just know what you get. You'll go to, like, the Whole Foods Go, right? I mean, you just put your groceries in the cart and you walk out, and there you go. Like, they know exactly what you got, which is bizarre, but at the same time, you know, I saw like McCarthy got put in for the Speaker of the House, right? Republican guy who's totally part of the World Economic Forum. Like, don't fool yourself, right?
Well, it took forever. That was unprecedented too, that whole situation. But yeah, go ahead.
So we'll see how this plays out, but I have a theory. So the first thing McCarthy said was he was going to pass a bill to ban the hiring of 87,000 IRS workers.
Huh.
So why would we need the IRS if everything is going digital? If everything is going cashless, they know every single transaction that you make. I do believe our taxation system is changing. The government knows this. So let's watch this. I don't know if it'll be passed. Biden said he was going to veto this. But when I think about the IRS and I think about the FBI, why do we need them if we're going to be living under a surveillance state where every single purchase that you make will be taxed? And how are you going to be able to steal anything
Right.
if everything is surveilled?
Well, and I think it's really important what you speak of, because you're right. Eventually, I think our tax system will completely go away because it'll just be part of your process. It just will be. They will, forget about taxes. And as a matter of fact, I think I read recently that they're trying to disband filing your taxes. I don't know where it was. It wasn't on a conspiracy site either. It was a reputable article that I was reading about, and it has to do with that. You're right, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, and that's the simplicity of not having to deal with your taxes every year. It makes people go, "Oh, really? That would be amazing, right?" Which it would be. Who wants to do their taxes every year?
Right.
But definitely being rolled out.
Yeah, for sure. And and I don't think that we should hire 87,000 IRS agents
Right.
for the wealthy. Like, that's what the Democrats are saying. Like, it'll just hurt us, especially people in crypto, right? So we'll see. I'm a big fan of just a flat tax. Just do a flat tax. Like, we go buy something, charge us 10-15% on top of everything else, and just do away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the tax system it only benefits the rich people. Like, whenever they say they're going to raise taxes on rich people, that just means there's a new loophole for an accountant to learn for their wealthy client.
Well, and I think to that, I think we should give a nod to all those CPAs out there in the world, because I know a number of them, and their worlds are, they're on full tilt, and their clients are on full tilt, and it's a very chaotic energy that they're all going through. It's like, there's a lot of panic out there from clients and everything else on tax situations. So it's across the board.
Yeah. And again, if you're an accountant, if you're a bookkeeper, what are some of your other interests? Because as things get automated, these things our taxes are just going to be done like really quickly if they keep a certain filing procedure. For anyone who hasn't checked out ChatGPT, check it out. Your mind will be blown. So, my wife works for a nutrition company, and they're using ChatGPT for programming.
Yeah, it's frighteningly powerful.
Yep.
Not that I'm fearful of it.
No.
I'm not, but it's just like it's mind blowing. Is probably the word I should use versus frightening. It's mind.
Yeah, and it's always hard, right, Kel? We talk about this all the time, to like wrap our head around the exponential growth of technology.
Right.
As a human, we can't keep up with it.
No, absolutely.
But algorithms can.
Well, and the universe is ruled by math. It's all numbers. It's so in many ways, if you take a very removed look at it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool.
Oh,
All right.
well, cool.
I think that's all I got for this week. So congratulations, Sagala holders, AVAX holders. I think it's really good that we go through some periods where we're in the green. It's a good thing to know. Crypto is not going to zero.
No, it's not. Green feels good.
Like Rosie Rios said, the train has left the station.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing some new faces in our upcoming class.
Absolutely.
And until next time, what do we say?
Hodl on.
Hodl on.
Your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomeninCrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, hodl on.